Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, she's an AI expert. You're going to meet Carey O'Connor. She's the host of a new podcast on this network. It's called the Career Blueprint Podcast. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, not since the invention of the internet has there been such a game-changing technology. It's called AI. You've heard all about it, but the truth is most Americans don't know how to embrace it. They fear it. They wonder if it's going to replace their job. I think Mark Cuban said there's 2 kinds of people on the planet, the people who will understand AI or the people who will be eliminated by somebody who knows AI. So joining us now to talk about that, Carey O'Connor. She's the host of the Career Blueprint Podcast. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about AI and your passion for it. When did this start for you?
Well, my passion isn't so much for artificial intelligence, but for jobs. I've been doing mission-driven work for several years now, focused on how do I help young people get good jobs. My primary career, most of my professional career, was spent as an executive over a global Fortune 500 manufacturing company. And in that job, I just fell in love with the world of work, particularly manufacturing. And I helped build lots of different training programs within the company and within my community to help young adults get ready for work. When I retired a couple of years ago and started to do this work full time, I started to get into understanding what are the biggest impediments for young adults to find good jobs, access them, to know about them. And in doing that, that's when my AI journey began. And in working with many young adults and their parents and the people who love them and who are trying to help them, I'm hearing a lot of confusion about AI. I'm hearing a lot of people who are just ignoring it, hoping it'll go away. And the message they're receiving is kind of apocalyptic, that all jobs are going to go away.
Sure.
And it's leading students and young adults to not know what to do. Do I go to college? What do I major in? Do I go right into the workforce? Do I get an apprenticeship? Do I become a plumber?
Yes.
And it's these types of questions that I was wrestling with my students when I started to do some research to say, well, there must be a resource out there for them. There must be a guidebook or a YouTube channel or somebody who's telling young adults, here's how jobs in the job market is changing today. And here's how it's going to change in the next 3 to 5 years because of AI.
Yes.
And when I did the research, I found there's nothing out there. What's out there are a couple of high-level lists that are, again, apocalyptic about everything's going to go away. I mean, the Anthropic CEO has said 50% of entry-level jobs are going to go away. How is that helpful for somebody who's 16 or 22 and making a career decision? I mean, it's not productive. And as I thought about it more and more, and I thought, my gosh, I've been doing programs like this workforce development work for 30 years. I've helped run a global company. I've taught at the University of Texas this type of workforce planning and workforce development. Who else is going to do this if I'm not?
Wow, that's beautiful.
So I'm on a mission now to get this information out, again, to students and young adults and the people who are trying to help them. And it's practical, non-techie language, which is helping them understand how AI is specifically changing jobs. Not just a list of here are the jobs going away or everyone needs to become a plumber, but here's specifically what you can do if you're interested in this field or that field.
So powerful. This is a labor of love. It's not like you can profit from this because you're not for hire. People cannot hire you to train their team. So talk about why this is such a passionate thing for you to just give of your time and talents.
Right. Since I was a young person, I've been very interested in helping other people get good jobs. When I was in college, I worked with our career services office to help set up internship programs and resume writing sessions. It's something that's always been of interest to me. And I studied it when I was in graduate school at UT and have kept that passion through my professional career. Again, setting up lots of community programs, job banks, and setting up internships and mentorship programs. So it's something that I've worked in for quite some time. And now that I've reached my retirement stage of my life, and this is my third career, I'm able to professionally do this and not worry about selling something to somebody. So often, some things that we see on social media, people are trying to sell you something. They're trying to tell you a certain angle because they want you to take an action that benefits their company or that you buy their product. That's not where I am in life. Where I am is genuinely, again, trying to help young adults get good jobs. I was very lucky when I was early in my career to have a couple of phenomenal mentors, and very lucky to have people giving me advice at different parts of my life.
Sure.
And it's helped me have tremendous career success. And it's my turn now to pay that back, because not every young person has that mentor or parent or somebody who loves them in their life who's giving them that information. And now, even if you have a loved one in your life who's trying to help you, their information's probably outdated about what the job market is. It's changed since you and I went through school and had our first jobs. It's changed. So this is my time to give back. And I'm doing this, again, as a labor of love, not for a profit.
I love it. Carey, you're very God-centered, I can tell. Let's show a clip from one of her recent podcasts.
Is finding your dream career feeling impossible right now? You're not alone. Welcome to Career Blueprint, the podcast that helps you figure out your next career move. We explore the trends in tech shaking up the job market, giving you the unfiltered advice you need, whether you're starting out, changing direction, or guiding someone else. Let's figure out what's next for you together. This is Career Blueprint. When was the last time you went to the doctor's office? Chances are it's been a while. It's usually an experience most of us try to avoid. If it's been some time since your last visit, you might be surprised next time you go. Something has changed in the exam room. Imagine you're there now. You're sitting in the exam room with your doctor making some small talk, asking how your day was. You're wearing one of those flimsy paper gowns, and you're trying to gear yourself up to share something embarrassing. You haven't exercised, you're feeling depressed, you've gained weight, something hurts, all your secret worries. But this time, there's no sound of frantic typing coming from your doctor while she looks at her computer screen. You're just having a real conversation with her. What if I told you that in that moment, artificial intelligence is quietly listening to your conversation? Not to invade your privacy, but to help your doctor focus entirely on you.
Wow. You are so natural on TV. Did you ever do any TV work?
Thank you so much. I don't feel like I'm natural. I'm an introvert.
No.
So it's effort. That said, I've done a lot of public speaking. I was just very fortunate. I started public speaking when I was 14, so I've been in a lot of audiences.
Yes.
But again, being an introvert, it's not natural, right? Extroverts are speaking and talking to people. It's very natural, but for introverts, you got to work at it.
Yeah. And you were in the studio this morning recording some episodes. Tell us one of the episodes you recorded.
Well, an episode that is a good entry episode for anybody who's interested in this topic and not sure if you want to follow or not. An episode coming up, which is going to talk about the cheat sheet for knowing whether and when AI is going to show up in your job at your workplace. And I'll just give you a quick summary.
Sure.
Recommend you watch or listen to the entire episode for more details. But I've come up with 4 key factors that if you consider with your job will help you know when AI is coming. The first is, do you use a computer in your job? And I don't mean any way you use a computer. We all use computers. If you're a hairstylist or a massage therapist, you have to use a computer to schedule appointments. But you can do your fundamental work without the computer. And that's what we're talking about. So do you need a computer to use for the fundamental components of your job? First category. The second is, what do you do every day? what are the actual tasks that you do? Not what's your job title or the outcome, like I'm a real estate agent and I sell houses, but what do you actually do, the specific steps? And is that work repetitive or is it different every day? And that will tell you whether AI can do your job. If your job is computer-based and repetitive, the odds are good that a software engineer can program a computer software to do it. The third characteristic to look at to determine when AI or if AI can do your job is whether you interact with people. And if you do, what type of interactions do you have? Are they quick? Are you just answering information very fast? Or are you having interactive, nuanced communications? Are you problem solving with people? The more human interaction you have in your day-to-day job, the less likely AI can do your job, because AI is not great at communication yet. Now, software engineers are working very hard to fix this, and we're seeing more and more AI in frontline communications, in sales and customer service frontline communications. But most jobs that have in-depth customer interactions are still safe from AI. And then the last characteristic to think about is who your employer is, what industry and what type of company you work for. And I say that because some companies are positioned to embrace and to move forward with AI a lot faster than others. For example, tech companies have the data infrastructure to move fast. And that's why you're seeing so many layoffs and so much churn that's happening at like Amazon and Meta right now, because they have the IT data infrastructure to do this. But other companies don't have it. They don't have as well organized of an IT data structure. For example, some waste management companies, food companies, construction companies. And if you're running your business on an Excel spreadsheet and sticky notes and coffee, it's going to be a while before you're ready for AI. So think about those 4 characteristics. And if you do that, you'll get a good feeling as to when AI is going to show up at your workplace and in your job. And if you'd like more information, I hope you tune into the upcoming episode where we talk about this in a little bit more depth.
Well, Carey, you are so talented. I'm impressed that you remembered all of that dialogue. And
it helps that I just did the episode this morning. It helps. If you ask me tomorrow, I may not remember it all.
All right, we have a couple minutes left. So final thoughts. What do you want to leave people with?
Well, don't be afraid of AI. We've had so many times in my life, and probably yours as well, that we've already had technological change. In my lifetime, we've obviously had the invention of the personal computer and the internet and the phone. That's completely changed work. If you go back further, we had the industrial revolutions in the 1800s and 1700s. So it's very typical in our society and civilization for new technologies to come out and change the way work is done. The key thing is don't ignore it. Just learn about it. You don't have to learn all the things that a software engineer knows, but you need to understand enough about the different types and how they function so that you know what to do about your job. If AI is coming for your job, you need to understand what's going to change on your job and what's not, so that you can try to change your job responsibilities or your job itself if you need it. Don't be afraid. Embrace it. It's really not that complex once you start to understand the basics of how AI works and what types of jobs it can and cannot do.
Outstanding. Great way to end the show. We're also going to leave with her Instagram page so you can message her and get in contact with her, the great Carey O'Connor. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Pleasure.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.